been a minute.
I'm back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Should I say things went wrong? What we've done differently? Is it how we were raised so we decided
To change the syllabus.
to say Chinese and season? As in, the way things are today is not the way things were. You see that your parent is trying. They may be failing, they may not do as well as you think they should, or you're looking at some other parents and you're like, I wish my parents were like so and so,
Do like
or
this,
do like this, or raise me like this, They are trying.
Yeah.
With what they have, they are trying. So give them the benefit of the doubt. They're working.
So good. It's been a minute.
I'm back.
Thank you. I'm back.
Yeah, you decided to take a break.
Did you miss me?
Of course I did. It was too quiet.
I know.
So you're
The life of the house.
I wanted to say something different.
Don't say that one. That's what you say.
That one is better.
That is better. Thank you. That's why I said it before you say something else.
Said it earlier. Good for you.
Thank you. So I was thinking for today's topic. You asked me a question earlier, and I think we should discuss on that one today.
Yeah, I think it came from looking at probably some complaints, should I say concerns, not complaints, concerns from many other parents of the difference between our generation being raised as children and your generation, and now going further to the alpha generation. And there was a comparison of during our days, you would never speak, as in even question your parents. It was unheard. Even the thought of it was scary. That I want to go and question why is this not being done? Why are we living the way we are living? You moved on like that is what they decided.
Yeah. You had no say.
We totally had no say.
And is it better that right now, at least, like as kids, we speak up? I feel like there's a positive side to it,
yes,
and there's a negative.
Yes, there is, because then it gives it gives the child the burden and concern of how life is going. Compared to our days, we didn't think about food, where is food coming from. We didn't think about where my mom is going to get ABCD. Even if we knew that probably life would be different. Life is different for each household. And for example, like me being raised by a single mom, I knew that we couldn't have it all. So I knew there would be a limit. When it came to school fees, I knew my mom could afford up to this much. So even when it came to my asking for what I needed, I asked to what I thought she would manage. But I never questioned like, you see so and so has ABCD, because if she said no, it was a no. I had no right to second guess. I'm a retaliate. But today's generation, they have those concerns. They're carrying those problems that belong to us as parents, and I don't know where. I don't know where should I say things went wrong? What we've done differently? Is it how we were raised so we decided
to change the syllabus?
To say sisi hatutafanya hivyo,
things are different.
We would be caned, let me tell you. We would be caned to a point where mzazi akiitwa shule, if your parent is called in school and an accusation is made, your parent plus the teachers would cane you together combined. And then I saw a post somebody said, obviously that must have been from my generation. Someone said that during our days, if you are called to the staff room and you are told to kneel down, even the teacher that did not teach you
will
Peter with you saying, I knew this one was just
but is that right?
It made us feel
no, that okay, personally, as a Gen Z, I think that's absolutely wrong. And I feel in our current generation, I feel like we need to justify that, yes, fine niko kwa makosa. That you see, like for example, the example
but
that you have given.
To justify,
for example, listen, hear me out. Hear me out. For example, the one that you have said, a parent anaitwa shuleni,
yes,
that mutachapwa nini wote.
Yes.
In this generation, we don't expect the mom to turn on your child.
But you see,
especially if, because sometimes even the child is not at fault. So why can't the mom just sit down to listen what the side of the story of the child?
When you say it like that,
because
no, then, I don't support it, by the way.
But because then the parent would obviously once in the second take the teacher's side, yes, without even listening to the child.
Which made us cautious of what we did, because we knew our parents were not just responsible for us. The whole community was responsible for me. If I messed up out there, I knew any other parent, not necessarily even a relative, would discipline me. So I would not mess up even out there.
I also think, now to add on that, it has gotten to a point where kila mtu na maisha yake.
Exactly.
Kila mtu na mtoto wake.
You know. But those days, it was, if I dare mess up out there, if that person will not discipline me out there, they will come and tell my mom. And my mom will support that person to discipline me. You get? So it made us cautious of how we lived, how we behaved, wherever we were.
Cautious of fear?
Cautious. I would not say fear, because it didn't raise fearful people. It raised disciplined, courageous people.
Okay.
That's how I want to look at it. Not to say, okay, today, if I meet a child...
For example, you find there's a parent out there who beats the killer.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, today things are different. Reason being, even the care that was there, the concern that was there from every other person is no longer there.
Yeah, exactly.
Is no longer there. That I cannot entrust my child
with a stranger.
Because I remember even those days, I would get into a matatu and travel all the way to wherever I wanted to go to, even at the age of 6 or less than 10 or even 8, on my own. And my mom would then trust me to the conductor or the driver of that car. Na mwambie, make sure this child alights at a certain place.
But that's not the kind of world we live in
today. So the world has changed. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. The world has changed. Maybe even that has caused parenting to also change and different things to change, that we no longer trust each other to watch our children. We no longer trust, we no longer even trust the teachers in school to raise our children.
And that's why you want to, as a parent, you will talk to your child first. Is it true?
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But now, as a result, it has now raised kids who are not
responsible, or kids who are feeling.
As a parent, you're just trying to do your best.
You're trying to do your best with the circumstances that you've been given, because now you find a child will go out there and say, well, who are you to ask me? You're not my mom. You're not my dad. They'll even confront their own relation, an uncle or an auntie, and tell them, who are you to tell me anything? You're not my mom. You're not my dad. And for us, we never had that. An uncle and aunt was a parent, whether you liked it or not. My own grandma would discipline me without thinking. And I would not even dare ati nimshtaki. Ati sijui my grandma alinichapa. It would be unaongeza chumvi ndani ya but it helped us. I don't know what different thing imesimama. I don't know what different thing we can do as parents to to help our children and our society. But I think every parent is trying the best they can and praying for wisdom. For me,
I think also the way you previously said that you instilled discipline from when you were a child.
Yes.
Now that some parents are not doing, they are now
Yes.
trying to instill discipline when they have become teenagers
or when they are older. There was a training I attended many years ago. I think you were still a very young girl, and the person speaking then said something that changed my way of parenting. That one problem that we've had with our generation of parents is that we have decided that we want to raise our children different from the way we were raised. I don't want my child to go through what I went through.
And so whether it was consciously or
unconsciously, you made the decision, and that has changed our way of parenting. So he said that probably I was beat the way now I'm saying that I was quite beaten up as a child for whatever mistake that was done, and there was really no sit downs and communications until later on when I was a teenager with my mom. But there are some parents who decided that I am not going to beat up my child. I'm not going to do what my parents did to me. And the chap was so wanaona that is not the correct way. They are probably feeling that was not right. You know? And he said the problem with that is that any discipline that is not installed in a young child, by the time any behavior, let's say for example, a 3-year-old tantrum, when a child at 3 years throws a tantrum and that 3-year-old is not corrected at 3, he said, imagine of that tantrum at 17, 18. It is a tantrum, but at different ages. So at 18, it's at a larger scale. The child who throws themselves down on the floor screaming and demanding for something, if that is not corrected at that age, that's the same child at 18 will bang your door and call you names and even tell you I hate you because you refuse to give them something. Same behavior, different ages. But because it was not corrected at 3, then it manifests itself at 18. Now at 18, there is nothing.
So now the question is it the parents' fault or the child's fault?
Of course, it's not the child's fault. It's the parents' fault. Because anything that is not instilled in a child, then it will manifest at an older age. But I will also say that for any child who has been brought up well by the parent and decides to make a different decision at an older age, then that child has all the fault to take. Because every parent is trying their best. Every parent is trying to raise up their child better than they were in the right way, you know. So whatever that is not done at an older age can still be corrected at a younger age. They can still be corrected at an older age as long as this child is also willing to change. But now it reaches a point where things may not be as simple as we want to say them or speak them out. And whatever cannot be corrected at an older age, then it reaches to a point where that child themselves now is an adult and can make their own decision. So whatever decision they make, whether it is as a result of what the parents did or did not do, it affects their life.
The child
himself or herself, it affects their life. So at that point, they are able to think and see the direction I am taking is not helping me. Is not helping me, is not right. So by the time a child is 21, and they're still...
Before we go to that one, let's pause there so that I don't get confused. When we were talking yesterday, last week, you said something about the way we went to the direction of discipline. That's not the direction I thought we were going to go with that conversation, with how your discipline and my discipline is, okay, your generation discipline and our generation of discipline is completely different. And one of the reasons as to why we concluded to why it is different is because, especially like the way you were saying that anybody and everybody could discipline you. for us it's not the same because, well, we are in a different world. Exactly. And you cannot trust a stranger to discipline you, not even your family. It has become that bad. And I think that's why discipline is different for all of us. Ni kila mtu na mtoto wake, mujipange. Yeah. And do you think that the outcome, now that discipline is different, has the outcome changed? Like the outcome of the discipline in character on the children? And whose fault is it?
Of course, it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say it's changed for the worse or for the better because
it's different for everybody.
It's different for everybody. What has changed is times and seasons.
Mm-hmm.
As in, the way things are today is not the way things were during my days.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the reason why during my days it was easier for anyone to discipline the children was because we also would visit each other so much. There is no time I would stay at for the holidays. I'm just at home. I would either go to my grandma's or to my aunties and we would mingle with relations. Mm-hmm. But today you find people are extra busy. We no longer have that time to mingle as often as we used to those days. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why families felt a responsibility to take care of your sister's children because you felt like they were your own children. You kind of owned them as your own. Yeah. Because at some point, as they are growing, you have been with them. Mm-hmm. But now, if I have a sister and she brings her children to me, maybe once a year or after 3 years is when I'm seeing them, then I don't have that
relation with the child.
I don't feel the responsibility or the burden to take care of them as my own children or discipline them as my own children because I still don't yet have a relationship. Yeah. I first want to create that relationship. But you see, during our times, like I would go to my grandma every year, like 4 times, and not spend 2 days or 1 day, spend a week, 2 weeks. Already, there's some character development being done within those 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. She has observed me and seen there's 1, 2, 3 things that are not right with me, and she'll be able to correct me. Maybe not caning per se, but she'll be able to sit me down and tell me, hey, this is not how you sit down. I remember my grandma taught me how to sit down. If you sat with your legs wide open, she would reach her hand inside and pinch you. That was a discipline that was being formed. You know, it was a behavior change that was being done at that time. Yeah. But I had to stay with her for a couple of days for her to note, here, we need to correct. Here, we need to sit down and talk, you know. So today it's very different. People have become very busy. Everyone is chasing the bag. Everyone is chasing money. And rightly so, because also life has become more expensive compared to our days. So I wouldn't say that I would blame anyone when it comes to how things have changed today. People have just, should I say, changed with the times and tried to accommodate what is happening today. And with that, then raising our children has become totally different. Because if I want to ship you to maybe a relative's place, then she's busy with her own things. She's busy with her own life. So it has become more challenging now. So the parent is left with the burden of raising. I don't want to call it a burden because it's really not a burden, but is raised with the responsibility to raise her own children the best way she knows how. Yes. So I can't say that we have failed or we are doing better, but we are trying. Every parent is trying their best. Yeah. Every parent is putting their best foot forward when it comes to raising their children, depending on the circumstances that are surrounding them. So even as children, I think maybe if I'm to speak to the young people, is see that your parent is trying. They may be failing, they may not do as well as you think they should, or you're looking at some other parents and you're like, I wish my parents were like so and so,
or do like
or
this,
do like this, or raise me like this, like this. they are trying. With what they have, they are trying. So give them the benefit of doubt that they are working hard, they are working towards it. As I said earlier, none of you comes with money. So every parent is doing the best thing that they know how to do with the information they have.
Now I want to pivot this conversation. Now, regarding the discipline, how do you think this generation is their character and their personalities and the way they are? What do you think? What do you think? Would it be the same if discipline was the same as that time?
No, it's not the same. I think today's generation are bolder than
That's a good thing.
Yes, it's a good thing. They are bolder than we were. I think it's also because of information. Information is widely available. Compared to our days, we do not have internet.
We know everything.
Yeah, with you guys, if you want to ask a question, you don't have to look for a book or wait to ask somebody. You immediately and you have all the information in your hand. So with us, if you don't read it or you don't have somebody to teach you,
you don't know.
You don't know. So most of the things you did not grow up knowing. You know, you only grew up knowing what you were taught, what you heard from somebody. The information on TV was very limited because, like me growing up, TV used to come at certain hours to certain hours, and there are certain hours you're supposed to be in bed. You know, and then the TV that time used to be very regulated. That there are certain channels that used to come after midnight. You know, programs that used to come after midnight because they are said to be PG. Today, any time of day, you will see any kind of program you want to see.
Very true.
You know, you can access information.
We don't even do programs.
We don't do programs anymore.
YouTube, Netflix.
Exactly. And we have information out there. So our today's generation are more informed than we were. For us, the information we had is what we were exposed to. And that depended on the people that surrounded you. So what your people the people surrounding you, what they knew is what you knew. And what they don't know, you don't get to know. Until now, maybe you go out there and
interact
with others, and then you're like, oh,
kumbe kunafanyangwa hivi.
So there's
kumbe
this kind of
these things.
There's this kind of thing. But now I find my 5-year-old Gabriella knows things that I had no clue of when I was her age.
She's coming to tell you, Mommy, you know.
Some vocabulary she uses, and I'm like,
okay, interesting.
But it's because of the information that she's exposed to. So our generation today is much, much more informed. They are totally a different brand compared to what we were. So because of that exposure, they are bolder, they are more courageous, they can face you and tell you that this is not how things are going. And then with the AI, with Inaenda, it's even teaching children that, you know, your parent is wrong, this is how you should train you, this is, you know. So it's a bit more challenging now because those days, if you do not know and you go to your parents,
they tell you it's what you take.
Whether it's wrong
or right.
Like I remember some children saying that when they asked where the children come from, some kids were lied to and told they are bought from the supermarket.
So you
can go to hospital and then buy children. You know, we are the stories, you know. But today, who are you lying to?
You cannot lie.
My 11-year-old will go to Google and search very fast, how do you get children?
And will find out.
The whole information is there. So even my way of raising my kids has to be very open. Because
you cannot lie.
I cannot lie to them. Which I think is right. We should not lie to our children. I understand until today there are still parents who are not able to tell their children where
children come from.
You know, give them the nitty-gritties. They are still lying to them that we buy from the supermarket. Hello, that child, by the time that kid is 10 years,
I remember it's Dad who told me where children came from. And I was as young as below Ray.
below 10, and I can remember that conversation very well. I even remember what I had worn.
Yeah.
Because it was so weird, and I felt so weird and out of my. I was trying so much to avoid that.
But weren't you glad that you
at least I knew,
exactly.
but like.
So no, for us, we have done it intentionally.
Did you guys sit down and were like, yeah, we are not supposed to? How did? Okay, now this is a different question. Did you and dad sit down and were like, this is how we're going to raise our children?
Not exactly. I would say we are led by our belief and trust in God. When we believe and trust in God, then lying is not part of the equation.
Yeah.
We are not going to lie to our children about even what we feel ashamed to talk about. If it's a lie, it's a lie. There's no discussion about it. We are not going to discuss that, let us give this portion of the lie
information
and hide this one. No, a lie is a lie.
Yeah.
So you ask a question, we give it to you.
It's a pretty.
Thank you. We give it to you as you have. You have brought up the question. Probably we'll bring it low to your level, but we will not sugarcoat it.
The final and last question, discussion. What do you think about strict parents, or like overly strict parents, or where do you draw the line in being strict? And does it vary? Obviously, it varies in age. So explain on also that one, because I think you can be strict on Gabriella. The strictness that you have with Gabriella is different to the strictness that you have with me, or with Gloria, or with Ray.
Strict parents. It depends how you define strict. But for any person to any behavior, let me say strictness is probably as a result of something, preventing something, or a fear of something. Because if I'm thinking of what you mean by being strict, is where probably a child feels like there's too much pressure on behavior, or as in wanafungiwa sana.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, that's it.
But I think with that probably is from maybe something that the parent is either afraid of, or because we act upon either our fears, our characters, our behaviors, our surroundings, or the way we were raised. So I would advise probably that person that feels like their parent is too strict to sit down and have a conversation. There's something maybe the parent is seeing ahead, either seeing ahead or is afraid of it happening to the child, either because they experienced it or saw somebody else experience it, someone that was close to them and it happened. So they don't want their child to
go through the same thing.
Yes, to go through the same thing. Or has some achievements that they want their child to achieve. And
doing that thing is not going to help.
Yeah, does not see any other way around that child accomplishing it unless being strict with the child. You get? So strictness, I would not say that parents become what a child would call strict for nothing. There's something
there has
to be a reason behind the strictness. For example, I would say, you remember us discussing about my mom being very strict with me when I was a teenager because of either my movements or it's because of the fear she had of me getting pregnant underage and going through what she went through because she also got pregnant underage at 16. And I was around the same age. So she was looking at me and could see herself that the direction I was heading, I would end up to be like her. Until we sat down and she gave me her story. And then we were able to come at a level of understanding where we agreed that this is how we are going to operate. This is how we are going to live. You know. So I think have a sit down and have a conversation with your parent. Tell them, here I feel you're being too strict. Here I feel you're being too harsh. I would like us to operate in this way. And probably the parents will be able to give them to open up. I'm hoping that the parents are able to open up and give them their fear or their desire for them. It can either be a fear or a desire for their children. That a parent wants to make sure that that child finishes school, or that child, maybe they were not able to finish school, or they saw someone who dropped out of school and their life went downwards, or probably the parent was not able to achieve what she wanted to achieve because of ABCD. So I ensure that my child does not go that direction. So most of the time, some of the reaction, overreaction, is out of something that we have gone through experience. We don't raise our children without baggage. We also have our own stuff that we have fought along the way. So because we love our children, we don't want our children to go through that. So sometimes probably we can enforce a certain thing, thinking we are doing it the right way, but maybe instead of doing it the right way,
you're just pushing your child.
Just pushing them in the opposite direction. Because I've seen children who have been forced to go to university, study a particular course that maybe the parent wanted to do and was not able to do. And anamaliza shule and then brings the certificate and tells the parent, Chika, here is your certificate. Now can I go do what I wanted to do? You see, that child was forced to do what they wanted to do. It was not their goal, it was not their dream. But if they sat down with the parent and agreed, then things would have probably turned out different. So even as parents, let's be open to hearing our children out. And I would urge the children to also be open to having a conversation with their parents. That here I feel you're unakuja sana to hold your horses. Let us talk. Let's talk it out. Let's have a conversation. And there's nothing that cannot. There's nothing that can. Everyone, when you realize that your parent wants the best for you, and as a child,
try and look at each other's perspective,
and
have an
understanding of the other. Because even me as a parent, I've been a teenager before. So I understand when my child tells me now, come on, because at one point I felt the same.
Ama, you understand that I have this certain request. You know why I want.
Why. And not only that, even the child gets to understand why the parent is pushing them to do what they want to do. Because then there is an explanation that I will give. The reason I want you to do ABCD is because this direction is because of this. There is an understanding. So even when you're going for it, you know why I'm insisting you go for it. You're not just going blindly. So it's important, as I say, in today's generation, we need to have a sit down and talk to our children. Let's not just enforce rules and regulations, but let's also sit down and have a chat.
It's just like any other relationship. It's not strictly parenting. It is having a relationship with your child.
Yeah, I think everything is communication. In every department, it's all about communication. All relationships, communication. When there is open communication, then things will work out. There is no problem. Including parenting. It's just communication. And with today's teenagers and young adults, you have to communicate.
You cannot just say, no, you're not going anywhere without
you have to communicate, and let's start the conversations early. Let's not wait until we are enemies and then that's when we want to try and open doors. No, let's start early. Let's sit down with our young children and talk. Yes, discipline. There are those parents who say without a cane there is no parenting, but even with that, talk. The reason I have caned you is because of ABC. Do you understand? Yes. Do you understand? Yes. Those who don't believe in caning also have a conversation. Sit down, talk with your children. Let's have an open discussion with our children. Then that way we are going to have good relationships with our kids. And then things will work out. Yeah, things will work out. Things always work out. Yeah.
I think we have really expounded on this topic of parent-child relationship.
Yeah.
We have really expounded. The next conversation we have will be
on a totally different
topic.
No problem. Yeah.
It's always a pleasure.
It was good, and I hope I was able to answer the questions correctly. But I don't think there's any correct answer.
Very true.
There's totally no correct answer.
Someone's perspective and how they see this particular thing.
Exactly. And with the help of God, there's nothing that is not possible. It doesn't matter how far gone you think your child has gone, or you think how wrong your parent is. With God, all things are possible. Every relationship is mendable. Every parent has the capability to get close to their child. That is your blood. So with prayer, all things are possible. Just pray for your child. No matter how far you think they've gone and how much you seek to have a conversation with them and probably it's not possible, keep praying for them. That is your sole responsibility. Keep praying for them. In one way or the other, God will bring them back.
Even for kids, like for example, kama mimi, it's not once that I have this certain request and I'm like, but it will be by the hand of God. So I go to God and I'm like, God, you see this request that I have? Touch her heart. Holy Spirit, talk to her. Yes. So also on the child's side and perspective, you ask God that your parent will understand where you're coming from, that they can see that,
and identify with you. I mean, not only on things that you want to ask for, but also pray for us. As much as we are trying our best, we need wisdom from God. We need God to guide us and to direct us. So also as children, pray for your parents that they'll be able to do what is right before God.
It is very important.
Very, very important. So when all that happens, I'm sure God will make all things right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's always a pleasure having you.
It's a pleasure being here. I thank God.